radio show. Heard from 5 to 6:30 each Saturday during the race season. Listen to Pitside Live on KCSI 95.3 FM. On demand at KCSI.
Hey, welcome race fans to Pitside Live from the Adams County Speedway here in Corning, Iowa, live on the YouTube channel as well. Welcome, thanks for tuning in here tonight, and we are ready to rock and roll once again for another beautiful night of racing here at the Speedway for our pre-race radio show. Got different drivers coming on here tonight, going to have some different opinions and things like that, so we're going to get our first guest on here momentarily, but Cole, as you can see, we're missing a person tonight.
Yeah, I know. Our ringleader is gone. So, and I didn't even know until like 5 minutes ago. So I was wondering why you were putting me on this side, but somehow he's trusting us to run the show.
So my father is gone tonight. He is in Wyoming at my cousin's graduation. I believe this is the first racing night that he's missed in
I was going to say, it's
a long time. So Cole Hendrickson to my right, to my left here for the first 20 minutes. We've got Bob Simon on the show here. Bob, what's up?
Not much. It's been a dream to be on this show for a while. Came down here, Cabbage Boys and Bob Harris were doing it. So
yeah, that was back when it was really big. And
are you saying you've killed the popularity?
Yeah, well, racing, you know how it is. Yeah, racing's just not as popular as it used to be. So
no.
But Bob is heading up our Dirt Crown TV this year with his son Noah. They're coming down from Harlan and doing that. We really appreciate their help doing that. And we had our first official one last week.
Everything went better.
And I think it went pretty good for the most part.
It did. Noah, he's done it before, so he's pretty good at it. If you watch the very first week we did it, it was a little shaky because, well, I'm old and I shake. So it wasn't as good, but, he knows how to do it. He takes the video production class in school, so he knows all about it. So I just let him get up there and do his thing.
And he gets good practice at it. And once I think he gets the hang of it, young kids. We young kids know how to do technology pretty well, so we grew up with it. So
and once we get it figured out, he's going to go ahead and start making the commercials for all the sponsors out here, and that way at intermission we can play those instead of just watching an ACS sign. So he's pretty excited. Yeah, he's pretty excited.
We've got some cool ideas in the making too for this deal. I know we want to get some wireless GoPro stuff. We want to get a shot down the backstretch going from the turn 3 wheel and light where you can see straight on the backstretch. We like to get one maybe on the one in turn 1 so you can get a different angle there or something like that. And those are some ideas in the works. Obviously, we're going to need to get some wireless GoPros for that because it's probably going to cost more to run a wire than it would just to buy a wireless.
Just entrenching charges alone, you're probably going to make. And, I know the late Joe Pate had all that stuff, but it's a little outdated, so you'd have to trench to wherever you want to go. And I would like to see a wireless GoPro in a race car so we could actually switch to it during the race. I think it'd be fun.
We can pick a driver every week, pick a different driver every week.
I think it'd be fun.
Yes, and I know Flo did that a little bit for they've done that a little bit for Flow Racing Night in America. The Boone Nationals started doing it last year. People like that in-car stuff.
Oh, they even flew a drone through one.
Yeah.
And during red flag, the driver's like, come on, bring it on.
I think that was at a Gateway they did that, I believe.
Well, yeah, it was Gateway.
Yeah. So
I think the one they use in Boone are a little too big to go through the car, but I wouldn't put it past them trying. But, no, we're excited. I know, Evan, you told us we had some pretty good viewers last week, and we're getting kind of the hang of everything, and it's a little different setup than what he had in Norfolk at Off-Road Speedway, but he did it all himself last year. He did the Ustream deck, the computer, and the camera all by himself while I was doing the announcing, so he knows what he's doing. Once he gets the hang of it, it'll be a breeze.
And we have a lot of people out there that are constantly asking me every week, you guys being streamed tonight? You guys being streamed tonight? Cole, I'm sure you get the same comments. And
absolutely.
We're always we're a racetrack that has a pretty big fan base. You see it a lot for the SLMR shows down here. Joe and Jay to this day say that the two biggest crowds that they had every year for SLMR was I-80 and here. Mm-hmm. And because we just have a really, really passionate fan base, and it's just nice to see if you can't make it or whatever, being able to watch. I mean, like my dad tonight, he's going to be able to watch the races from Wyoming. So
I can't believe they got service or internet out there.
So Rob,
it's not great.
We go
snowmobiling out there, and there's like one spot on a mountain.
You got to stand on your 1 foot.
Yeah, it's
make
like
sure you're lean to the left a little bit.
Two bars at most.
I used to run through there weekly when I went to Idaho.
Yeah, Rob from Dirt Crown's been really helpful with us, and Joe Kaczynski's been helping us out, getting all the equipment and stuff. So Rob was very pleased about the streaming count that we had last week. We had more than what he expected, and I hope that continues to grow. And I hope that people will start to recognize that, hey, we're on TV now. So if you can't make the races, you can buy the subscription and watch it. And the drivers like buying the replay subscription.
Oh, absolutely. They like to see, what happened, if they have a wreck, or just see how they did, pat some of their egos.
And what's nice is, so like Brad Derry's mother, Lois, has done videos here for a while, and she's kind of the one that all the drivers go back and look at her stuff, but she can't catch everything. So it's kind of nice to have two different avenues for drivers to go watch stuff as well. I know we encourage Lois to keep doing what she's doing because she does a really good job up there, and I know a lot of the drivers appreciate what she does, and it's just nice for the drivers to be able to go back and watch their race and see what they did wrong and see what they did right, because it's just a totally different vantage point.
Oh yeah, Hunter was doing that this week, so we sat down in his parents' living room when we were watching it, and it was great. I think I found the point when the GoPro died though in that race, because
which point there was multiple points.
They kept going on and off the whole time.
They're doing the Cupid shuffle, killing it.
Yeah, they cut to the speed shot, and there was just nothing on the screen. We're like, yeah, that might have been the point when the kid's doing the Cupid shuffle.
Well, not only that, but it's so delayed. So the broadcast is delayed.
Yeah.
So, and I'm trying to look at that left screen to determine when to switch over to that action camera.
How much of a delay is it?
I'm not sure.
Is it like 60 seconds?
60 or so?
I know Pitside Live's, I think, 60 seconds, I think, for the YouTube portion, but I think the radio's delayed a little bit too.
Like
so
30 seconds,
yeah,
for radio.
something like that.
But it was various. We were still trying to work some bugs out and trying to figure out when to go to the action shot, which not go to the action shot. But I think that action shot is absolutely an amazing shot, and I just look forward to what Dirt Crown has for dirt track racing. I think is limitless, and I think they're going to do a great job.
Yeah, for the second stream down here, I thought it was pretty good. It's trial by fire, so you're going to have.
You definitely had a better camera operator the second time than the first time.
Well, I think one thing about our racetrack too is there's a lot of potential with this place.
Oh.
There's a lot of things that we can do to make it more creative, and obviously we don't have $1 million production truck like Flo does, but at the same time, if we can start figuring out some things that work and make it really, really smooth and make everything sound smooth and get some different shots, we could put on a pretty good production here.
If you want to put on a $1 million production with a $10,000 budget, and you can do it.
Right.
You can if you just do it the right way.
See, that's what so many people don't understand is like, yeah, you buy the Flow stuff, you buy the Dirt Vision stuff. Flow and Dirt Vision are like the top two. Those are like the two you think of in dirt track racing.
Yes.
But the people that don't understand it is those guys travel the country. They have production trucks. You can literally call the race from their production truck. You don't even have to be in the booth. Dan Taylor and James Rowland over there at Eagle did that 2 weeks ago for the High Bank Heist, and they just called their modifieds from the production truck.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's crazy. But we don't have that here. We've got two people, Bob and Noah, doing it up there, and I've been telling people that obviously it's not going to be perfect. We're working out the kinks as we go, but for the first official night of it, I think it went
great.
Pretty dang good.
If you got 48, 50 viewers on night one or two, technically two, it's just going to keep growing.
Yeah.
The more you guys promote it, you guys do a phenomenal job of promoting it on the Facebook page and all that. You guys do an amazing job, so it makes our job easier that we can get up there and we know we're going to have viewers every week.
Yeah, Dre's not here tonight either. He was at the Royals game today. He took the weekend off too, but I don't know what's up with everybody taking the weekend off or something.
Know.
But
can't you do that stuff on off weeks or rain outs? Come on. It's like getting married during the race season. Don't do it.
Well, Dre does all of our Facebook stuff. He does a really good job, and he does a lot of good, cool graphics and things like that. So, but yeah, I'm just really happy that we finally have something down here solidified, permanent. And because there for the last 3 or 4 years, we had different streaming services come in, And there always seemed to be some sort of complication with this, or there was an audio problem, or there was a Wi-Fi issue we had for years, and then we finally got Starlink down here. And it seems like it's keeping up.
Yeah, it is. It is. We're not having any lagging or anything going on in the broadcast. But the problem with this, you come down here and broadcast, you've got big shoes to fill, because you know that just as much as I do. The original guy down here, he's probably messing with it, want to make sure we don't want to do better than what he did.
Now, the original guy he's talking about, obviously, is Joe Pate. So if you come down here, race fans, and you see all these old TVs that are in the above the concession stand, we have them in the bathrooms. Joe Pate was the original guy that came up with this idea, and he was the one that started all that. It's kind of funny because it's kind of come full circle, because we were technically the first racetrack in the area to do some sort of a camera streaming service.
You guys in I-80.
Yeah, and now we're like one of the last people to do a weekly streaming service. So it's like we were one of the first, now we're one of the last to get a full-time service. But what would be really cool, obviously, in the future, my dad wants to get it back up again, is get these TVs out, get some flat screens in there, and make it to where we can do that again. Because it's super easy. All you gotta do is just plug them in and run them all on the same thing, and it's super simple.
Joe made sure you didn't miss a lap.
Yeah, Joe was he was very, very good at what he does. His wife is still here with us. Unfortunately, Joe passed away several years ago, but his wife's still with us, and she's a really, really good.
I've been talking her into some races.
Hopefully, she'll come down.
One of the best camera operators I've
yeah.
ever seen, hands down. I mean, that woman could run a camera anywhere. We went down to Oklahoma State Fairgrounds, track she's never been to before, and just killed it.
Yeah.
I mean, she's amazing at the camera. I've talked to her. Hopefully, a couple times we can come down and get her to do a couple rations, and
that'd be awesome.
That way, Noah can kind of have a break from running the camera all night. And
that would be awesome.
Yeah. So we're hoping to get the GoPro working tonight. We'll hope to get some good action shots, and I hope we just keep getting subscribers. We want them. Keep coming in. I see Dirt Crown's even using our footage now on their Facebook page.
Yeah.
Well,
so
that's one of the things that I'm extremely excited for is when we have a great race down here, we're going to be able to share it with people online. I mean,
social media,
can you imagine the numbers it would have done on social media if we had that 3-wide hobby stock finish? I mean, that was
that'd have been thousands of views.
Oh yeah, just incredible.
And if we could have figured out replay and put it in slow motion, you'd had thousands of views on that. Absolutely. I guarantee it.
Well, right now the thing out there right now is the doom scroll. That's the big one right now on TikTok. So we need to get somebody down here to run a TikTok. I watch TikTok, but I don't know how to. I've never made one before.
Oh,
I mean,
I've done a few.
I've been pretty active on the TikTok lately, so I mean, if we need to get something going, I could do that.
Because imagine,
he'd be good too.
Yeah,
he's made a lot of videos that make no sense, so he just will make some that make sense.
Well, could you imagine? Well, so last year, Darren Hardesty's family member did put his deal on TikTok when he went into the corn. Could you imagine something on that, on the Adams County Speedway, like TikTok page or whatever, or like when we were talking about the other night when we had a mushroom hunter out on the backstretch, or something like that. That's the stuff that people laugh at.
And you know what? That wasn't even a full moon.
Yeah, and then
compacts just going up in flames.
Yeah, I was literally playing Fireball by Pitbull that night because we literally had two compacts and two straight races just absolutely grenade.
Literally.
It's just like it was that was the weirdest night.
And was that the night he was gone?
No,
you were here.
That was the week before I was gone.
It was the weirdest thing. I mean, we had mushroom hunters, we had fireballs. I mean, it was just. But that's the kind of stuff that we need to put on social media, and people like watching that stuff because it's funny and it's entertaining. And unfortunately, that's just the way the world is right now. It's digital age, and you got to be able to keep up with it.
Absolutely. We're eventually going to get to the point where we want to do an intro before we go live with you guys or whoever, doing some clips, and then start building commercials for the sponsors. Because I mean, who wouldn't want their name out there even more than what it already is? That's
right. Same thing with our sponsors here on Pitside Live. They all do a really good job, and we try to give them commercials as much as we can too, as well, to support us. And we do stuff on the YouTube stream as well. So. Just another avenue to promote businesses.
Back to you were talking about the SLMR series being the two biggest crowds here in I-80. Now it's here in Harlan.
Yep.
Those are your two biggest SLMR crowds.
That's right.
I-80, basically translated, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I know the internet's going to eat me up for this, but I think Harlan kind of took over the I-80.
Yeah.
I mean, they did, because a lot of those guys come here or they go there.
Yep, that's right.
I mean, that's the only two places they race.
I mean, some guys go to Eagle, but not as much as I thought. But yeah, it's just one of those deals where we're happy that the SLMR championship is down here. We're happy to hold that for Joe, and
Joe's doing a phenomenal job with Dirt Crown and all this the series, all of it. I think Dirt Crown series they're doing phenomenal work with. Glad we had them down here and we're able to stream them, because that would have been bad to not have a streaming service.
Yeah, and speaking of Dirt Crown, before we go to our first break here, we can talk a little bit about that. So last week we had the Twin Rivers Auto Group Sport Mod Summer Series for the first time here. 30 cars were checked in, and it was a really, really good field of sport mods, and it was a good race. We had for the most part, nobody got tore up.
No,
really bad. Because typically, I always worry about sport mod racing. It doesn't matter what track you go to. When you put up extra money, it seems like everybody drives a little bit more aggressive, and guys take chances and things like that. So I was a little bit worried about that, especially for our local guys, because they're still running for points. But we had our two top dogs out front and beat the traveling guys. I mean, when you beat Tyler Narrett and Willie Kirk like that, it's pretty impressive. And we're going to have Hunter on the show here in a little bit. We'll talk to him about that. But yeah, it was a good night.
And yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that stuck out to me is just, I think that speaks a lot about the sport mod class these days. And I'm hoping, I know we talked last year, you guys want to get a big sport mod show, which we got one in that show.
Yep.
And but I just would like to see more support for that class, because, I mean, man, it's like you put up a little bit of money and you got 30 cars. I mean, it's – I say 1,000 like it's a little bit, but you know what I mean.
I was told years ago, race car drivers will drive hundreds of miles for hundreds of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, you got so much talent in the sport mod division. You got Caden Carter, Willie Kirk. You know, I mean, you got some pretty hot shoes in them sport mods. And anywhere you go, you know, Hunter came up to Stewart on Sunday for the whole hog and did phenomenal up there. I mean, it's just a competitive class.
Yeah.
And I love watching them. Sometimes they don't know how to finish a race.
Yeah.
but for the most part, I mean, they're a very competitive class no matter where you go.
It's one of those classes that it's like two different groups. You have your elite, and then you have your young guns that are just starting out. And a lot of guys like to start in a sport mod. I mean, it's not a bad place to start.
It's an expensive place to start.
It is, but it's not a bad place to start, because it's not a lot of horsepower. But at the same time, sport mod racing is getting to be it's very technical.
It's huge,
and it's huge too. I
mean, the big thing is, like, me and Hunter have this talk a lot about, as he progresses in his career, where should he go to the next class? And I'm kind of like, I'm sitting here looking at Carter. It's like, these days you can make so much money in a sport mod if you go outlaw racing. It's like, I don't know, it's just crazy. I think, like, we've had this conversation, I think the modified class is just evolving to the point where it's almost unaffordable, and that's why I'm grateful we have a great purse down here.
Right.
We have a great modified field, because, I mean, you see it at other tracks throughout Iowa.
It's
sad.
Some tracks don't run modified.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I talked about that several weeks ago with Josh Most on the show, and unfortunately, I know the modified drivers don't want it to happen, but modified racing is getting to be kind of how the late models were 10, 15 years ago.
Now, a lot of the late models are blowing up.
I mean,
you got these IMCA tracks that are running 20, 30 cars, and then you got your SLMR series, you got the Lucas Oil series, the World of Outlaw series, you got the Mars series. I mean, there's so many different brands of late model racing. It's blown up, in my opinion.
And modified racing right now is teetering on the edge of
extinction.
Are they a weekly class, or are they a traveling class?
USMTS. I mean, they're not getting many cars like they used to.
I mean, I'm watching this World Championship this weekend up there at MTS, Mississippi Thunder, and if I had the money and I was a modified driver, that's what I would run, is open stuff, because that's where all the money is.
That's exactly where all the money is.
I mean, all the money in modified racing right now is in the open stuff. It is.
Well, and see, it's crazy, too, because it kind of transitioned, you know. I mean, you think back, like, 5 years ago, the USMTS has done a great job. I mean, if you think back 5 years ago, those guys were racing for, like, 1,000 to 2,000 a night.
Right.
And it's like, how they're running these.
You can't justify
like 800 horsepower engines, 900 horsepower engines. You can go run an IMCA type modified for, you could find $1,000 to $2,000 to win show every week, and now it's kind of transitioned. I'm like, you see all these open shows.
So Todd Staley does a really good job with the USRA, but that's one thing I think USMTS has done a really good job of is USRA does a really good job of supporting their drivers. They do, and a lot of their shows, USMTS, I think it's minimum like $10,000 to win now.
At least. And a lot of them guys, the older guys, they're running weekly now because they can find. Like last night, there was a Sport Mod $2,000 show to win up Northern Iowa. That killed any Friday night track that was running Sport Mods.
Yeah, and IMCA mod racing is it's supposed to be more affordable than the USRA and UMP stuff. It's supposed to be, but it's getting to a point where it's almost not because it's so technical that the technology is getting crazy and I know IMC is trying to catch up with UMP and USRA mods, but unfortunately UMP and USRA, that's just where all the money is, and that's why you see a lot of these big-name IMCA modified drivers that are switching over and running open stuff.
Well, and a lot of your modified guys are going to late model or stock cars anymore. You see a lot of your local modified guys that were running modifieds for years, now they're in a late model or they're back in the stock car.
Yeah.
I know I called races last night, and there's a guy that's won multiple races, many races in Denison in a modified. And now he's winning races in the stock car because there's just nowhere to run a modified.
That's right. Yeah. And I feel like personally we do a really good job of supporting our modified guys here. I mean, it's our premier class. Our weekly purse is better than pretty much anywhere in the country when it comes to modified weekly racing.
Agreed.
We get, state champion gets to go to Charlotte. They run for national points as well. So we really appreciate all of our modified guys that come down here. Obviously, we wish we had more, but unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Modified racing, I don't want to say it's dying, but it's definitely not the way it used to be.
It's hurting.
Yeah,
it's hurting.
It's hurting.
We'll put it at that.
It is.
It's hurting.
And it goes to show, Hunter's a prime example. Like Josh Sink said a few years ago, like, why would I move up to a modified when I can race a sport mod? It's cheaper, and there's just as many money shows as modifieds.
Well, and I think it's at the point, I don't know if a racer would ever open his books up, but I would love to see the cost comparison to chase around money shows in a modified and an SLMR late model. Obviously the late model is going to be more expensive, but how much more?
Right.
It almost gets to the point where I'm just going to go run the late model.
Well, and see, I would like to see like the top 5 in your SLMR series compared to like a Braden Carter, Taylor Cool.
Yep.
Some of them ones that do chase some of the bigger
like
shows.
a McGuire to Young or somebody like that.
Yes.
Like Tyler Narid last week coming down here. He's a big shoe. I mean, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of big names in the sport mods.
Yes, there is.
Cody Olson and some of those guys. Kevin Zeitner. A lot of those guys. I mean,
exactly. And our guys down here, our weekly guys, they're tough to beat too, especially down here. I mean, we showed last week that we've got people that coming down here to race against our guys, and they're tough to beat down here.
Oh, absolutely. You got a stout class of sport mods down here, absolutely. So I don't disagree with that at all.
So it's just one of those deals where modifieds, we could talk about that all day, and it's obviously a conversation for discussion, but we're going to go to our first commercial break here in just a few minutes. Bob, thank you for coming on and talking a little bit.
Appreciate it. Anytime.
We hope that this Dirt Crown deal can keep going for years to come, and hopefully we can just make it bigger and bigger and make it smoother and get some cool shots out there. You got some good ideas, and we're just really happy that we found some people that are reliable that can come down here and work, because you know how it is just as much as we do. It's hard to find people that are committed, that are reliable, that are willing to be down here on a weekly basis, because you've been around racing long enough that it takes a lot of time out of your summer.
This will be my 37th year.
Yeah, and it's one of those deals. It's like, yeah, we wouldn't know what we would do without racing, but at the same time, you got those people that are good help, but unfortunately they just can't be here every week because they have other commitments during the summer.
For a 14-year-old that wants to come down here and work and be here or be around the sport, I couldn't be happier. He wants to be in a car eventually, but it's like, let's start here.
This is cheaper.
Much cheaper. I mean, he wants to be in those little Batwing cars, and I mean, like, I don't know. Them little boogers can roll.
Yes, they can. They're fast. They
are.
All right, well, that was Bob Simon. He is heading up our Dirt Crown TV with his son Noah, so we appreciate them. We're going to take our first commercial break, and we're going to come back with our first driver of the night. You're listening to Pitside Live, and we'll be right back with you here. No, we won't. I'm going to have to reset. So.
Oh, boy.
All right, so really quick, Cole, before we go on to our first commercial break, you want to get some results out from last week?
Yeah, I suppose. Do the B mods. Your top 10 from your Sport Mods show last week. Kyle Russell from Holt, Missouri took 10th. Kyle Tanner from Blair, Nebraska finished up 9th. Evan Davis finished 8th. Austin Paul dropped down to the Sport Mods, and he finishes 7th. Bryce Allen went up 7 spots and finished 6th. Daniel Harris, he started 5th, finished 5th, but he still had a really strong race. Your pole sitter, Willie Kirk out of Sloan, Iowa, he dropped 2 spots to finish 4th. Sean Krolick finished 3rd. Tyler Nerid out of Dorchester, Nebraska, went up 5 spots to finish 2nd. And your race winner from Villisca, Iowa, went up 3 spots on the race and took the win, Hunter Poston.
All right, well, we're going to talk to Hunter Poston right after this break. You're listening to Pitside Live.
Too busy at work to wait in a long line at Subway? Order online at order.subway.com. Simply register with your email and password and order away. You can also download the Subway app on your smartphone. Order up to 6 subs, salads, or pizza. Ready in 15 minutes once order is submitted. Also add chips, cookies, and drinks easily. And Subway's back to normal hours Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Order online at Subway in Red Oak, Clarinda, Shenandoah. Best Finish Auto Sales and Service is proud of the quality used vehicles they sell and their dedication to serve the needs of their customers. Whether it's your first purchase or one of many that you've had, you can count on their dedicated sales staff to make the best buying experience possible. They also offer financing on your vehicle purchase. Best Finish can also take care of your service needs, from oil change, brakes, alignment, air conditioning, to any body shop and repair needs. Stop by Best Finish Auto Sales and Service at 209 Sharp Street in Glenwood for all of your vehicle needs.
What if we could harness the power of the sun by using the earth to transform the way we use energy? Water furnace geothermal systems are simply the most efficient way to keep your family comfortable. Winter or summer, day or night, rain or shine, without burning fossil fuels, giving you the freedom to focus on life.
Call Camlin Mechanical or visit camlinmechanical.com for your water furnace needs today.
Welcome back to Pitside Live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning on 95.3 and on the YouTube channel as well. Gave the results before the break. We'll talk to him here, Hunter Poston. That was a cool one.
Yeah. The trophy's really sweet. I can't wait to get that.
That'll be a good shop ornament.
Yes, it's going to go right next to the big check. So
there is...
Did we determine that one?
Well, I don't know. It'll go somewhere right there.
You've got some cool stuff already. I mean, you have a tradition check. Now you got this. Obviously, the goal was to win, but did you expect to win?
I mean, you got to.
Right.
If you aren't expecting to win, you're not going to win, I guess, is the way I think of it. I mean, if you don't have the mindset, it's just not going to happen.
Now, I feel, obviously, you probably felt a little bit better after your draw. Your draw was decent.
Which one? The
second draw.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say the heat race was, we were on the tail.
Right.
The starting fourth definitely helps with Nerid, or however you say his name.
Nerid.
With him starting behind you, he's a tough customer, and the rest of the crew, I mean, their locals are just as competitive as they are. So,
right.
Starting up fourth, that's always a plus. And it didn't like to see Krolick and Willie start on the pole, but I told my dad before we even left home, I was like, it's going to be Krolick, Willie, and then everyone else in front of me. I was going to start 10th. But so we started fourth. So.
Well, I feel like Kralick's better when he doesn't start on the pole.
Yeah, I mean,
he's so much better when he's
a
not.
better chaser than he is staying out front. But, I mean, he's still fast if he's out front.
You've probably seen enough videos we talk about him. He's kind of like the Kevin Harvick of the sport mods. It's like he just bides his time, and then he just makes the moves when he needs to. But the way you run your car, Hunter, you scare the ever-living crap out of me because sometimes the car doesn't want to turn.
Yeah.
And how many times have you blown off the top here? More times than not?
Plenty.
Now, I think it was the last restart, and your car didn't want to turn, and then it finally turned, but that mid-state you've got has got so much horsepower, and you've got so much drive off the corner. You're like the Chubbs and the sport mods. You're just like comfortable up there.
Hey, I'd love to be compared to him. I mean, he's won a lot of races here, so if that's who you're comparing me to, I'm okay with that. But yeah, that's just where I felt natural. I mean, even through iRacing, that's just where I've been. I don't know. I don't like tugging tires.
You're not a catfisher.
I've torn up more crap down there than I have up top, I guess. Well, take that back. I-80, we've torn up a bunch of stuff on the wall. But.
Well, I tell you what, he mentioned that, like the early seasons, you had issues going off the top, but this season it's been a lot better. Far less mistakes. I know when I was down in Kansas, there was that one mistake, but besides that, it has been a really strong season. How would you evaluate where your career has gone? What is this? Technically season 5, but more like 4.5, right?
Well, I'll put it this way. Me and my dad were talking the other day. This is the first nose this year. Last year at this point, we were on 3 or 4. So,
I knocked on wood for you.
I mean, I don't know. If you start in front of where all the wrecks are going to be, you're going to stay a lot cleaner. I mean, if you hit that invert every time, I mean, you're almost not guaranteed, but you should have a better shot at keeping her clean.
Right, and obviously the way we do our 3-week point average invert makes it more fun for the fans, and it makes you guys earn a little bit more. But at the same time, you still got to be a master at being patient. I feel like that's one thing I feel like you've done a way better job just these last few years I've seen. Your patience is so much better than what it used to be.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you still got to stay aggressive because at 15 laps is not a very long time, so you got to keep going. But where I used to go, you just shoot the gun right off the get. You didn't necessarily have to do that, but now I've kind of learned that you can still pass people. You don't have to get it right now. You can wait a second.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, last week, I mean, we talked about your car would get tight sometimes, but did you see it through? Well, you kind of got to the front pretty quick, so you probably didn't see it. But a lot of the cars in the field were handling very evil. I think, like I talked to you, Kralick's car was really tight through the center. Nerid's was really, really loose on exit. I mean, did the track end up being different than you guys were expecting, or just is it?
It was just a different type of track last week. It was slick the whole time, but that's just one thing that I've learned, that I don't need to make wholesale changes. I'm moving a bar 1/8 of an inch. That's my big move. So, I mean, 1/8 of an inch is not very much.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's getting my big swing, I mean, I think that's where a lot of people get in trouble, where they just are constantly moving bars and just too much stuff, I think.
Right.
And that's where people need to kind of just slow it down and actually feel what the car needs and not just go by what this guy says and then, well, this guy changes it. And then, so, I don't know.
That's kind of how I would think of it as, is you get a baseline,
mm-hmm.
and then you just teeter from the baseline a little bit. It's not just, I'm going to go really loose, and then I'm going to go really tight, and then it's just, if you got a strong baseline, you shouldn't have to do that. Uh-oh, we lost connection. So,
well,
that's not good. Hold on, I think we're still live on YouTube. So, hold on, I'm going to have to maybe redial in here.
Say I started hearing the dial tone. I'm like, that can't.
Hey, if we're still on with YouTube here, we're gonna take just a quick break here. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back, race fans. Sorry about that. That was weird. We've never had that happen before.
Yeah, I know.
We just got like a dial tone, and it's just interesting. So I went back into a commercial and kind of jumped the system a little bit. So we're back in. So what were we talking about?
Oh, man, I don't know. I can't remember.
We were talking about baseline setup, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And how you've kind of got a baseline now, Hunter. Your car doesn't get up on the bars like everybody else does. Is there a reason for that, or like I feel like it just sits flatter?
I think it's body.
You think so?
Yeah, because I mean, if you're looking at pictures, apples to apples, it's up there. I just think my body's flatter because.
Gotcha.
I mean, you run the preload left rear, you got to keep your deck lower, just because it raises it, and I got a deck height rule.
Gotcha. Interesting. I was just wondering.
Yeah, no, trust me. I think he talks about that a lot. He likes the pictures whenever the car's hiked up. Always gets pumped whenever there's a really good one.
Above the bars, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I tell you what, I know you won the tradition. What was that? 2 years ago? 2 years ago.
Yep.
Technically, that one did pay higher, but based on the drivers that were in the field, would you say last weekend is most likely your biggest win of your career?
For sure.
Just based off the talent.
No, the talent was definitely higher. He had all those Nebraska hot shoes coming through, so yeah.
I mean, what kind of statement do you think that makes for your team and your driving?
I don't know.
Making you really think,
because we went up to Stewart and got 10th, so we got to keep working.
I know he spun out in his heat race, and he comes back. First thing he says, he goes, "Man, this is a humbling sport."
Yes, every night is different. It seems like, and you know what Bryce Allen did last year down here was kind of unheard of because it's so hard to be good every night, and the track's different every night. We're not racing asphalt here, so it just seems like. Is it like that sometimes, Hunter, where it's just like you feel like you have it all figured out, and it's just like, man, what just happened?
For sure, no. It's just going from running really well here and going up to Stewart. I mean, it's just the different track style, and then you got to throw a whole different driving style at it too. I mean,
right.
I agree. There's never a same track, I should say. So. With that being said, you got to have a baseline and then adjust accordingly, I guess.
Right.
And having some of the best as like Jeremy Houck and Chris Speaker as in my back pocket, like that's awesome to have them as help. The really good competitors that raced here and a lot of wins with their names.
Yeah, they know a little bit.
Yeah,
just a bit.
Just a bit.
Speaking of Jeremy Houck, man, he has to be absolutely stoked with how this season is going in the sport mods. Just 5-star trucking.
And he got into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yep. Just what a year. What a year going for him. His two drivers just dominating the sport mod class. So pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's something where I feel like he's going to root for you, Hunter, no matter where you go. And I know you're wanting to travel more, but at the same time, I know a track championship's kind of what you're wanting. But you got a busy week coming up.
Yep.
Racing here tonight, and then we're making you guys are making the trek north.
Yep. Leaving tomorrow and coming back Wednesday. So.
And you guys race tomorrow?
Tomorrow's practice, and then Monday through Wednesday.
Monday through Wednesday.
They're all complete shows now. For whatever reason, they shortened it just to complete shows instead of the big race on Wednesday.
I wonder if they got some opinions on that from some drivers.
Yeah, well, and I think maybe too is it'll probably help with people showing up on the main day. I noticed like when I looked at the pre-entry list, it wasn't really all that large, but yeah, I would assume it's going to be people showing up just for the Wednesday portion.
Yep.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, I have an awesome crew at work to help so I can leave. I mean, taking off 4 days, that's
a lot.
A lot of days.
And that's why a lot of guys, I think, like the separate shows, too, because you can race on one night and then not have to worry about racing the other night. Because when you have a 2-3 day show, you get stuck and you got to be there the whole time. If you have a bad night, you can just scrap it and redo it.
For sure. Yep. No, I'd actually prefer a multiple night show. I mean, I'm the opposite of everyone. I'd rather qualify Monday and then not race the big show until Wednesday. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, last year he was begging for the passing points.
Oh, yeah.
He's big on that. So, but no, I tell you what. Speaking of the summer nats up there, this guy over here, Tucker Teeple, I saw he was signed up for it too. So. Yeah,
he's gonna go rip the lip up there at Clay County.
Yeah, and I believe Brad Deary signed up as well. Yep. Is Tyler Gray going up?
Yep.
So man, we're gonna have a little ACS clan up there.
Oh boy,
it's gonna be pretty cool. But
yeah, so before we get you out of here, Hunter, we appreciate you coming on. Yeah, go ahead and thank some people.
Okay, get the list out.
Give me a second. Gotta thank Dynagrow Seeds, True Farms, 5-Star Trucking, B-Team, Harris Auto Racing, 3M Powder Coating, Schaefer Automotive Services, Diamond M Welding, Stubbs Petroleum, Myers Boys, Arnold Family, Jim Herzberg, Poston Farms. My parents, couldn't do without my parents. They helped me get started, and they're still helping me tremendously. Allison, Carson, Aniston, Shane, my PR guy Cole.
Yeah.
He does an amazing job. It looks professional, to be honest.
You're not creative enough to do that stuff?
That is not my strong suit. I drive the car, and he makes it look pretty. And he designed the wrap this year and worked with Dre, and it looks awesome. Cade, Reese, Loudon, Bubbles, Scotty, Chris Speaker, like I was talking before, and then the speaker crew, and my number one fan over here, Hunter Gross.
Heck yeah.
Let me tell you, when I walked in today, he was pumped when I told him you were on the radio show. So it was very, very cool.
Every time we pull out a staging, he's always waving. So got to give him a big old wave.
Heck yeah. There you go. So, all right, well, hopefully we don't get kicked off the air again here soon. But that was the driver of the 5800 Poston. He's going to look to go back-to-back here at the Speedway. Remember, if you can't make it to the Speedway, make sure you watch him tonight on DirtCrown.tv. Hunter, thanks for coming on, man.
Yep, thanks for having me.
All right, let's take another quick break, and we'll come back with another driver here on Pitside Live.
Are you interested in starting a career instead of just getting another job? Well, hop on over to Fresco System USA and let us help you find the one for you. We offer competitive wages, benefits starting day one, and so much more. You can pick up an application at 2026 Fernwood Avenue, find us on Indeed, Better Team, and Facebook, or call 712-623-8100, extension 6659. Spring into action and join the Fresco team today.
No matter what your insulation needs are, Heartland Foam Insulators is your go-to company. From removal to blow-in to foam, they are ready to go to work for you in any type of building, whether it be an existing house, new construction, a metal building, commercial building, or a unique project. Call Heartland Foam Insulators today at 712-623-4515 or heartlandfoam.com.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 404 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. For generations, Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to planning for retirement and everything in between, Malvern Bank is your full-service community bank, here to help as you plan for the next chapter of your life. Call, click, or stop in today to apply for an account, loan, or...
Live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. Hopefully we don't get kicked off the air again. We thank you for your patience. Not really sure what happened there with the phone line, but we're back on the air. So we're going to give you some Hewlett & Sons Auto Salvage Hobby Stock results from last Saturday night, and then I'm going to give you a quick rundown of some points here. I need to mention the Sport Mod points as well. So go ahead, Cole.
Oh, all right. In 10th, it was John Snyder out of Smithville, Missouri. And 9th was Kenton Walson, I believe his first time back at the Speedway this year. 8th was Tom Myers. He went up 6 spots. Anthony Davis out of Essex, Iowa, went up 2 spots to finish 7th. Jared Lund out of Orient finished 6th. Adam Hensel, your reigning track champion out of Atlantic, finished 5th. 4th was Cody Warner going up 3 spots. Tucker Teeple down 1 spot. from Villisca finished third, which that was not the whole story of his race. Second was Tyler Gray out of Clarinda, and your winner going up 5 spots out of Red Eye, Old Walleye, Jim Toll.
Yeah, so top 5 really quick in your RJ Plumbing and Heating Sport Mods. We didn't get that really quick. Kirk McKay's in 5th right now at 342. 4th is Austin Hardesty out of Adair, 346. 3rd is Evan Davis, 350. Hunter Poston, 368 out of Villisca in 2nd. And he is currently 20 points behind your point leader, Sean Kralik, with 388. Then we're going to move into some hobby stocks point standings currently as we speak right now in your top 5. Dustin Grout, 424. Tyler Gray is in 4th with 426. Anthony Davis out of Shenandoah is in 3rd with 442. Jim Toll, last week's feature winner, 458, and he is currently 4 points behind your point leader, Adam Hensel out of Atlantic with 462.
Well, and I see Adam is not going to make it tonight, so
yes.
Jim, if his race goes well tonight, he should take over the points lead.
Yes, so Adam Hensel is not going to race points this year. He's taken the night off to get his car ready for Spencer. But we have a new guest on the show, first time ever on the show, and this is kind of his first full year in a hobby stock, and I wanted to get him over here because I wanted to pick his brain a little bit about that feature last week. Tucker Teeple, what's up?
Not much, how are you?
Well, I'm not too shabby, but this feature last week, first let's back up to staging. How nervous were you?
Very. Josh Sink come up to me in staging and told me, just run your car and run the track. Don't worry about anybody else. So that's what I did.
And you really did a really good job. I mean, you were surprising the absolute heck out of us because we were like, where did all this speed come from? And you led pretty much the first half of the race. And Jim started to show his nose there. Josh Most did as well. And I think that kind of got you a little squirrely, and then you looked at the scoreboard.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
But Cole and I were very impressed.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing to me is Josh Most passed you for the lead, and, you know, that is no slouch. I mean, that's one of the best to ever do it down here, winning in all the classes. And, you know, I said over the radio while we were announcing, this is a great opportunity to learn. And then before I knew it, you were just driving right back by him. So I don't know if you learned anything from him, but you just drove right back around, and it was very, very impressive.
Yeah, I seen him come into 3 and 4, and I knew he was probably going to try to throw a slider on me. So I was like, I probably better check up, so I didn't take him out. So, I mean, I learned from that. That was a good experience to witness a slide job.
So what's it like leading a feature that long?
Well, I honestly didn't know what the heck was going on. I mean, I was out front by myself, and I'm like, where's everybody else at? So I'm like,
were you just waiting to get past?
Yeah, I was like, all right, let's see what happens here. And
the funniest part of the feature wasn't watching you race; it was watching your brother up here in the decks. Chance is just pacing back and forth, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm just looking over at him. I'm like, Chance, calm down, dude.
He probably lost a few years off his life in the stress of that one. So.
No, and it wasn't that you were running the top too, which is a little bit more nerve wracking.
Oh yeah.
And so you started off the year running some open motor that you had, right?
No, it was actually Tyler Gray's motor he bought when he first started, before he rebuilt the motor that's in his car now.
And you were taking care of the Skeeter population with that thing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tyler told me it had like 160 nights on it. Never been rebuilt, so we were running on about 2 horsepower compared to everybody else.
And now you got a different crate in.
Yep, I went and bought a new crate.
And it makes a big difference, right?
Yeah, I just got to learn how to contain the horsepower now.
When you probably put that first thing in and you probably went out on the track, you were like, man, this thing's fast.
Yeah. I'm like, man, this is what it feels like to have a good motor.
Now, what is this car you're running?
This is Jeremy Ribby's old car that Tyler ran last year.
Gotcha.
So, Tyler, I like to tell everybody that Tyler Gray is my car owner. He just told me we'll put it together and you run it, and if you junk it, we'll take her to the boneyard. So
that's the best thing. He's just driving the dang thing, right?
So
you're the hired gun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't own nothing besides the motor on it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here comes the feature winner.
Well, you talk about Tyler Gray. I mean, how much do you have to?
Jim, we're live on TV.
and made a cameo appearance there. But how much do you bounce ideas and try to learn from Tyler? Because obviously Tyler's been doing this a little bit now. I'm sure he's probably a huge help for you.
Yeah, Tyler Gray helps me a lot, and Brad and Derry. Obviously, he ran a hobby stock for a while when he first started. And then Donald Sexton, he ran, I don't know, how long ago has it been since?
A while.
Probably 08 was the last year he ran, and he come to me the Thursday before last weekend, and he's like, we're going to try this setup. And I'm like, going into this week, I was like, I'm down for anything. So, and
it worked.
It worked, so.
Now, after last week, obviously your confidence is probably shooting through the roof, and you were probably like, man, I just want to get back in the seat and do that again, right?
Oh, yeah. So we'll race tonight, and then we're headed to Spencer for the week. So.
That'll be a fun deal up there. This will be the first time that you've technically traveled, right, with a car?
No, we went down to US 36 and I-35.
That's right. Yep.
So. First, probably big money show, though.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. So it's just good to see in a car that's competitive. And I was really worried there towards the beginning of the year. I was like, man, I don't know what motor he's got, but that thing has no balls.
Yeah, it was very, very stressful. Very stressful.
So now you got a good piece under you, and it sounds like you got a lot of people that are here to help you. Who else helps you? Who else do you want to thank?
Oh, I better get my list out.
I know you got a lot of people down there. It's kind of like a big crew down there.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, Brad and Tyler helped me a lot. Donald, my brother, he went out and bought a brand new enclosed so we could fit in with everybody. But my girlfriend, she lets me do it every weekend and doesn't complain that much about it. But I'd like to thank my sponsors, OSR, Victory, Barnett Kemp Farms, Load Pro Trailers, Clay's Coating, M&R Woodworking, Diamond M Welding, Oathouts Farm Supply, Dairy Construction, J&J Wood Milling, Haley's Electric, East River Ag, L&D Show Cattle, Scrogg Farms, and Tom Steinbach Trucking.
You got a lot of people to thank, I know, Tucker, but you kind of just got into this thing kind of all of a sudden, it seemed like. I mean, you ran it for some, like, mechanics race stuff.
Yep.
And that's kind of how you started, and you kind of had a knack for it to begin with. I mean, I remember when you first ran that mechanics race, and you didn't look bad.
Yeah.
And you kind of got a knack for it, and I'm sure you're probably learning a little bit more about how to take care of the car and things like that, too. Obviously, those guys are probably teaching you with that, so because that's a whole other job in itself, just taking care of the car, so not just let alone racing it. So I know you're the hired gun, but obviously you probably help work on it as well, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Quite a bit. So
it's actually, I had it down at Tyler's, and it was in Tyler's shop, so I decided to take it to Vliska and put it in my mom's shop and give Tyler some more room in his own. But
yeah, and it's good to see. It's good to see another driver that has some talent that's up there with those guys. We've lost a few hobby stock guys over the years to moving up or just not racing anymore, and it's always good to see some youth get in there as well that are competitive. So I know there was a lot of drivers that were very impressed and very surprised.
Oh yeah, I was surprised.
So Cole and I were very surprised as well, and I just want to get you on here just to give you a shout out and just say you did a really good job, and hopefully you can stay up there again tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna give her heck.
So all right, that's the driver, the 32T, Tucker T-Pole. We're going to take another quick break, come right back with you on Pit Side Live.
Oh, ears are sweating. Ready to party or what?
Oh, I'm ready.
Are you just going to leave your trailer up there, and then, or are you going to come back after the hobby show?
Oh, we're staying up the whole time.
All right, fair.
To help Brad.
Realize your radio show sounds terrible. Yeah, we're not sure what it is. So. How old is that shirt?
This is actually when he got inducted in.
furniture, appliances, mattress sets, lift chairs, bedding, recliners, and more. S&S Appliance, your hometown furniture store in Clarinda, just received a large shipment of appliances. They have a huge selection of stoves, refrigerators, chest freezers, and microwaves. And if you need a mattress set, they have them, plus bamboo sheet sets. They offer full service from start to finish with competitive price guarantee. S&S Appliance also offers delivery and installation. Stop by S&S Appliance on the square in downtown Clarinda.
This is Josh with Shore Motor Company in Clarinda. We want to be your GM dealer. We have highly qualified and trained technicians ready to work on your vehicle. Anything from recalls to warranty work and beyond, we are your GM dealer. Our service department is open 6 days a week for all your service needs. We even have an express lane for those no-appointment quick oil changes. Visit our website at shoremotor.com to request an appointment or give Mike or Amanda a call at 712-542-6581. We are your GM dealer. Shore Motor Company, just south of the square in beautiful Clarinda.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. Sorry for the garbliness going on the radio. I'm not really sure what's going on, but hopefully we can get that resolved for next week. Thank you to who's back at the studio covering that. So we're going to have our next guest on the show is no stranger to the Speedway. We go from the youth to the not youth, and it's Jim Toll. What's up?
Yeah, old timer syndrome up.
I really, really wish we could have done interviews last week because I really wanted to interview you, but we were trying to get through it, and we barely got done last week before it rained.
We just needed a picture of me kissing that trophy girl.
Yeah, I heard that happen. We were talking about that down in the pits.
Yeah, Candy was like, okay. Well, Jim.
Her husband's at the pit gate.
And he's a police officer.
He talked to me today, or on the way in. I think he's got a bounty on me.
Well, see, Jim, you're from the 70s, right? So it's like that was a deal back in the day. So well, Jim, it was good to see you get a win legally.
Yeah.
Pass tech and everything too.
Yep.
And didn't have to have that get out of tech free card either. That was kind of nice.
I still got it in my pocket.
But so we had Tucker on. He led pretty much most of the race, and then you said you were just waiting for him to make a mistake, and finally did it, and then you just took your chance, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was 3-4 car lengths behind him the whole time. Couldn't reel him in, and then he coming out of 2, he blew her out of the wheels and he had to back out, and I knew that was my chance. I got up beside him then and came in 3 and 4 beside him, and I pressed the envelope, and he let me go pretty much.
So what's this deal with you having Josh Most race your other car? Is that your idea or his idea?
It's my idea. About 3 weeks ago now, I came in, I think I finished 4th. I came in 270 degrees, hot. My motor was hot, and I was just making sure that's my open motor, just making sure it's not hurt. I don't want to come over here doing decent in the points and blow a motor up. So we're doing a little bit of testing, just making sure it's all good.
And you're kind of going back, and it's kind of like back in the day when I grew up watching the 22 and then the 22V with Ryan Vicker in the car, and remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so when you watched Vicker, how does he compare to Most, in your opinion?
Most drives it more like a modified. Vicker was a lot smoother, but Vicker was so good at just raw speed. Josh Most just drives it. That guy has no fear.
Yeah.
I mean, he drives it in there, and it's just like Josh, it's not a modified. There's no grip. There's no power. There's no quick steer. Well, he had you there at the beginning of the race. He was up front of you.
Oh, yeah.
And then he made that mistake, but I did not think you were going to win at first because I was just like, well, Jim's going to just settle for second or third or whatever, and then you kind of got up there, and I'm like, well, man, Jim still can drive.
Once I got up there, I thought, well, we'll see. Somebody will show me their nose here in a little bit, and I've watched the video quite a few times, no doubt, and I'm telling you what, the last 2 laps, there were 7 cars within 100 feet of each other. And, man, it was
fun.
It was very even bunch, all of us.
And you probably noticed now that you've come back to racing that our hobby stock class, even though there isn't as many numbers as when you were racing back in the day, it's still really competitive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, very much so. Just like last Saturday night, 7 cars took the checker flag within 100 feet of each other, you know.
Yeah, do you feel like you're racing at Talladega or Daytona, the way you guys are all – I mean, there's times you guys are going through the corners 4 wide, and somehow you guys all stay off of each other. It's amazing.
Unbelievable bunch of guys racing here. I've said that for years. I mean, everybody respects the hell out of each other. We don't beat and bang and root and gouge. I mean, accidentally, yes, but not. I mean, it's a good, clean bunch of guys. You can trust them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can drive in there, and they know, I hope they know that they can trust me. I'm not going to slam into them on purpose, you know. You hit greasy spots now and again, but, yeah, it's a bunch of good race car drivers, a bunch.
Yeah, I mean that's cool to see, though, because, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it, this new age in racing. You can go to some tracks, and there's just these kids that don't pay for anything. They'll tear up all their equipment, and it's kind of cool to see that down here we still kind of have those older values of just running a guy clean, you know, finishing the race together and racing it fair. So I think that's really, really cool.
I do too. Yeah, it's way less expensive.
Yeah.
Now, I got to ask you, Jim, because I don't think I've asked you this before. What made you get back into racing? Because you were out for a while, and you had the car obviously sitting in the weeds.
This is the true story. About the 1st of April, I sat up in bed 2:30 in the morning, and I said, "Self, this is 2022. That's your car number. We're getting that thing back out of the weeds." That's how it started right there. Nobody gouged me or nothing. I just decided, woke up in the middle of the night and said, "I'm bringing her back out."
Because you showed up, and I'm just like, whoa. Like, Jim Toll he's still around? Like, because I grew up watching you race. I mean, you were racing back in the day where there was B features and C features, and you know, we would get 30, 40 cars. And
there's a lot of nights, 45 cars would show up. 20 of them would go home, wouldn't get to run a feature. Yeah,
I know, and you raced back in the day, too, where obviously hobby stocks, there's not as much technology as some of the cars, but everybody just built their own car. Yep. You ran an open motor. You built your own motor.
Yep.
That's kind of how you started, and now you see it. You know, I never thought you would ever get a crate, but you did, and now you got an actual chassis. But you went to the dark side of things, didn't you?
I did, and I'm not sure I'm happy about it, but yeah, I did.
Now, crate racing is way different. Obviously, you can't do much to the motor, but at the same time, it's less maintenance.
Sure. Yep.
I mean, you don't got to worry about, you know, obviously you can change valve springs and stuff like that, but obviously you got to keep her sealed. You can't rebuild it and things like that. But what else is different from when you first started? What are some different things that you're doing compared to what you did, you know, back in the mid 2000s?
Well, not a lot. There's a few rules changed that when I came back, I hadn't read no rules or nothing. You know? I just drawn it out of the weeds with the same stuff.
And you're friends with Gary, and you go up there to Stewart, and everybody's always giving me crap like you have Toll out there teching people.
One guy asked me Saturday after the race, "Did you get to tech your own car?" I said, "Well, no," but anyway, the spring deal, the IMCA rule that had the ride heights.
Yep.
For the hobbies, man, that was a major
difference.
Major kick in the you know what right there.
Yep.
All that did was make the president of IMCA richer, and the spring company richer, because people. Hell, the only way you can make the ride height is you got to cut springs, and if you get them cut too far, you throw them in the barrel. And
yep.
I got a shipping container with 70 springs.
Oh God!
Since I started back up.
Yeah. So and
just trying to get to the fine line, you know, and then the track changes, and yeah. One thing I've had to relearn was when we raced over here before, we raced behind them late models, and them late models laid down a mirror dry slick track, and that ain't here now.
Right.
So there's a lot of nights when there's good bite,
Exactly.
And we never had that back in the day. You had to race on a slick mirror.
Yep.
Which I had to relearn some of that. Quit changing my setup quite so much, towards late models.
Yep. So that's a good point, Jim, because that's one thing I thought about a couple weeks ago. It's like, well, why is the track so much different than it used to be? And you make a really good point. We don't our highest horsepower cars are modifieds, and they don't blow the track off because they dig in, they grind, they don't run like late models. See, back in the day,
Right.
especially, late models were just like they're like sprint cars. They blow the track off. We don't have that anymore.
Yep, we'd come on after them, and man, I'm telling you what, it was like this table.
Oh,
And you had to feather everything, and
Yep.
I had a motor that had a sluggish cam put in it just so I could come out of the corner, and if I messed up and got on it too hard, it was sluggish, just for that reason.
Interesting. And
so had to change some stuff there.
That's a big difference, and that's a really good point you're saying, because a lot of people don't think of it that way. I mean, track conditions are different because we don't have the horsepower anymore to blow the track off. Now, when we have sprint cars here in August, it might be different.
Yep, it will be.
Yeah.
And when we come up here here in a month for the late model show, it might be different. It's probably going to be different.
Yes, it will.
So you have to take in consideration the cars that are running, the tire, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
It's probably kind of nice to having a little bit of bite.
Yeah. In a way it is, and in a way it's not, because when there's
it makes everybody fast, though.
Sticky, heavy track, everybody is fast.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing.
As old slick track drivers, we struggle.
And you're kind of that old-fashioned guy, too, where you're just used to racing on that glass slick.
Yep.
And I feel like dry slick is a racer's track, obviously. It makes everybody even, and you got to really race the track.
Yep, you do. I like my car under me. A lot of these young kids are sprint carting it. They got it.
Like Josh Most?
Kicked out, I want my car under me.
That's how Josh Most races.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's got all four of them side sliding.
trying to throw a slide job on a track like this in a hobby stock, that's like impossible.
Comes into 3, slides are enough, just about goes out the pit gate.
Yeah, there's some sliders that he sends. I think he's going to end up in the next county, but somehow he keeps it on the track.
Oh, yeah. I watch him on video, Lois's videos, and I've got them all on CDs and watch him, and oh my God, he goes in there and he'll slide in front of him, and I don't know why. If it was me, I'd plow him, I guarantee, every time.
Well, while you're on, Jim, I do want to announce quick that here coming up on June 28th, it's going to be no points, no sanctioning fee, but courtesy of Jim. Right now, we are at a minimum $750 to win hobby stock that night. We're looking for some more. Maybe we can get up to $1,000, something like that. But hey, that's good money to run for hobby stocks. So if you know anybody who wants to come down and race with our local guys, come on down. That'll be a fun weekend.
Yes, it will.
So we're going to do that. And we've got several hobby stock shows coming up. We've got a 1,000 to win Dirt Crown show coming up in July. So you'll have to try to win that one. You have to try to win that cool sign. You see that sign last week the modifieds were running for?
I did.
It's a LED. Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to be racing for one of those here in about a month, so that'll be cool.
And I'm sure he likes hearing that it's in July. You think 90 degrees might have one of those glossy tracks.
Uh-oh, here comes another wannabe.
Get him in here. Get him in here.
Having Brad and Toll on, that'd be a good interview. So
well, I've said for a while, I'd love to get some of these guys and maybe get Vickers over and just sit them down on a round table discussion. Man, some of the stories that would come up.
I'm not thinking that would be good.
No, it might be a plus 18 show.
Right.
There you go.
It'd be a PG or R-rated.
Yeah, R-rated.
R-rated. Well, Jim, before we get you off here, who else you want to thank really quick? Give some people some shout-outs. Who do you want to thank?
Jordan Stewart Tire him out there. He's a pretty good sponsor for me. He gets me my tires. And other than that, Dennis Elliott supplies my engine oil, Schaefer's.
Yep.
Other than that, I think that's about it. My daughter and my son-in-law and my granddaughter, without them, I couldn't make her work. They're my pit crew.
And you have a good time down there, race fans. If you have a chance to go down and hang out with Jim Toll, he's a good storyteller.
Well, speaking of that, Cliff just messaged me. He said, ask him if he has Grandma's station wagon motor around still.
Maybe. Got to save that for the big show.
Oh, okay.
King,
All right.
King of the Hill night.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, well, that's the driver of the 22, the Wiley veteran, Walleye Jim Toll. Thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to come right back here. We're going to talk to another driver here on Pitside Live.
Oh, man. Dude, I mean, could you imagine him, Ryan Vickers? Who else could we toss? I mean, you would be perfect, too. Just do like a round table podcast.
Jim Toll, Ryan Vickers. Those would be the best guys to talk to. They would just tell stories all the time. All right, we're going to make this quick so we can get you out of here. So.
They just put they're under a weather delay.
Oh, Eagle. Yeah, they got a severe thunderstorm over there.
Tell those guys to pack up, hurry up.
I tried.
All right, we're going to make this quick. All right, welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. I want to give a shout out to all our sponsors. Big thanks to all those guys for what they do, for allowing us to do this. Stock car results. Go ahead, Cole.
In ninth was Jesse Dennis. Saw him have issues. I believe it was something with the power steering pump. But eighth was Lance Most. Seventh was Marvin Hendrickson. Sixth, Rick Barton. Fifth, Mark Karg. Fourth was Lance Swartz. Derek Myers in third. Steve Churchill in second, and your winner was Brad Derry.
Top five in your point standings. Rick Barton is in fifth with 428. Derek Myers in fourth with 452. Scuba Steve Churchill is in third at a Creston with 470. And there's a tie at the points lead between Chubbs and Brad, 474 apiece. Brad, finally got one.
Yeah, it's been long enough, yeah.
Now, you're running the two cars, and you've been trying different stuff, and this last week was a really good week for you. Got a win down here. Had a really good run up at Stewart. Yep. I was really happy for you there. Obviously, it would have been nice to get that win, but, I mean, the guys you're running up there against are really, really good guys, too. So, kind of the best week of the year, wasn't it, for the most part?
I don't know. We won 750 to win show at 36.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I-35, I guess, but... So that's our third win on the year, I guess, and we've had some good top 5 second stuff. You know, it's fine. So,
now,
but as far as money goes, that's a pretty good paying show up there. You know, for third is $1,000, and hats off to the Van Eatons for putting that deal on. The Fox family and whoever else was involved. That's pretty cool for third to bring home $1,000.
Yeah, third place for $1,000 is nice. That's for dang sure. So, and you were fighting for third with was it Dylan Solom?
Those were some haymaker sliders. If you know me very well and you pull a slider on me, you best get to going. So.
It was a great race. I mean, it was fun to watch, but I finally got one down here. You haven't been as dominant as past. Why is that?
Missing a 10th.
You think so?
Tell me where the 10th's at.
Where is it?
I don't know. I spent a lot of money trying to find it.
And you've ran so many laps around here in your life, and it's just second nature to you.
So a person that thinks that this stock car class stays the same, you're sadly mistaken. It changes almost weekly because guys are trying stuff. You got more of these mod guys moving down, nothing against the mod guys. But when you're used to going 20 mile an hour faster into a corner, it makes a difference. Yeah. I mean, you're going to put your equipment right to the edge. I mean, it's a good deal. We strongly thought about running a mod just to make our stock car program better.
Just the mentally.
But a mod's got side bite where a stock car doesn't have as much side bite of what I'm told. I never drove one before. I'd love to drive one sometime.
I'd love to see in one.
But
that'd be fun to watch.
We've really strongly thought about getting into a mod to help our stock car deal because there's more big money shows for stock cars than there is mods. I mean, not always, but sometimes, we got some good paying shows. So
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot more car count and stuff. So
yeah. Yep. And that's interesting to think about because you get guys like Chubbs and Kelly and all those guys, the mod guys that moved out, Jake McBurney, those Caden Carter who won up there at Stewart, and that's the first thing that Chubbs said. Chubbs told me it's like when he moves down to a stock car, it's like, man, these things are just
everything slows down.
Yeah, I'm trying to drive it like a mod, but you can't.
You take a late model guy, put him in a mod, same situation. You take a mod guy or a late model guy, put him in a stock car. It's like, what's happening next? They're just used to everything happening that much quicker, and it's an advantage. It really is. But it is what it is, and we all get better because of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're working on our stuff more, trying to find more speed, trying to find that 10th, and we still didn't have the fastest lap time last week, but it was better, and hopefully we worked on it this week some more and got better yet. But starting position's a big deal here. I mean, it's when it's a one lane, not always is it one lane, and this isn't against anybody. When it's a one lane, it's who can get there the quickest and go. I mean, it's any class. I mean,
I wish Scuba would have gave you a door. That'd been funny.
Well, I was waiting for the slider, but it didn't happen. But that's okay.
He didn't have enough speed, I don't think, to throw a slider on you. I was waiting for you to give you the door. You should have gave him the number one, like your number one, like.
Well, it was last week in that restart. There's some stock car drivers in here that think they need to beat your ass off the bumper, and I don't understand that whatsoever. But I don't appreciate it. So
that's funny. My dad said the same thing. Somebody started behind him, and he's like, I don't know who it was, but he was beating my rear bumper off. So,
it's like, dude, we're 300 foot before the start-restart zone. Figure it out. Dude, when we get in the restart zone, you want to bump me, that's fine. But if we're 300 foot from it, come on, guys. Let's figure it out.
Like back up a little bit.
Yeah, but anyway. I'm not perfect either. So.
Well, you speak to...
Your wife will say the same thing.
Oh, I'm sure. So
now, you speak to, those guys dropping down and elevating you guys. I think it's, we don't get a lot of stock cars down here, but, man, we have a really strong field.
We do.
You saw that. I mean, you guys had a great battle. Like you said, maybe it was hard to pass, but it was still a great battle.
But do you realize the top 3 stock cars last couple of weeks is all brand new chassis?
Yeah, they're all
for everybody to have their new chassis working that good is something to be said for the technology that's came. It's not knocking anybody that has an old chassis because they're just as fast. I mean, but the new technology is something.
It is.
It is.
And I've been very impressed with Derek. Derek's been doing a good job.
Yes, he's been doing a great job. I'm glad to see guys like him coming into the sport because without it, we ain't going to have no numbers. And
I know.
Kyle Britton's here tonight. He's got a car. and
I saw he bought Luke's stuff.
Yep. So I'm glad for him to be
I
here.
see Dennis is here as well, so that'll be good.
So it's just if we could get everybody in the local area to show up on the same night, we'd have 16, 17 cars.
I know, right? and we're waiting on Tony to come back as well with Tim and things like that. So I want to get you out of here sooner than later because you got stuff to do. But it's good to see you win one. You and Chubbs are tied now. Obviously, it's those top 3 that you always talk about. It's you, Scuba, and Chubbs, and it's good to see Scuba back in some top-notch equipment too. And I know Darren is down there working hard, helping both of you guys, and you guys kind of work together and do things together. Are you both going up north?
Yeah, I think we're both going to Spencer tomorrow.
Because Darren told me that Scuba was going to go try it. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, that's a different animal up there. That's a hard place to get a hold of. I mean, the soil's a little sandier. It's more of a sweeping, wider track. You keep your momentum up, and if you lift, you get past. So we've been up there, I think, 4 times total.
It'd be good to see you guys up there.
It's tough to qualify because it's a hard track to pass on. It's nothing against the place. It's just a hard track to pass on.
Now, tomorrow night's just practice, right?
For us, yeah. The hobby stocks and the sport compacts, I believe, have a complete show.
Okay.
And Monday they have a complete show, and then we have a complete show as well. So it's
you guys are going to be up there too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're going to have a little town of ACS racers up there. I'm going up with Hunter, so it's should be a pretty good time.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think Hunter is going, Tucker, Andy, Tyler, me, and Scuba. So
yeah, that'll be fun.
It'll be a good time.
There's gonna be no alcoholic beverages drank.
Well,
correct?
my birthday's Monday, so there will be plenty drank.
You got to focus, man.
Well, Brad, thank a couple people before we get you out of here. So I want people to help you.
Victory Powerline Services, Sleep's Tile Yard, DW Race Engines, Scobie Powerline Services. They're a new sponsor we picked up this year. Glad to have them on board. We've got 31 Tire Works. We got OSR One Source Restoration there in Clarinda. We've got DW Race Engines and Farm Bureau Financial Services, Jake Gillespie out of Clarendon and Bedford. They've been on board with this for a long time, and just appreciate each and every one of them guys that help us out and everybody else through the way. My wife and kids, I couldn't do it without their support. They put up, we have our garage shop, whatever you want to call it, at our house now. So it makes things easier for us to work on things. And, we're in a different world, so we work, later hours. So a lot of times I don't get a start on my stuff till most people are going to bed. So, between that
Right.
9, 10, 11 o'clock era.
You're playing
when
with
I get
dirt
to
all
start.
day.
Well, that and working and whatnot. So it's just a different world, and I appreciate them guys putting up with it. And my brother, Scott and Chris, and everybody that helps me out on this thing. And Darren's doing double duty this year helping us, and Tyler and Tucker help when they can. And it's just a nice little family down there, and I appreciate each and every one of them.
You guys have a good time. You guys are good people. And race fans, if you have a chance, go down to the Coke Tower, take a right. They're down in turn 1. They're a good crew to hang out with. Go have a drink with them after the races. They're always willing to talk to people and sign things and things like that, so they're a fun group to be around. So, Brad, congratulations, and see what you can do tonight.
Thanks. I appreciate it, and we'll see if we can keep her going.
That's right. All right, race fans, we're going to take one more quick break. That was a 37D Brad Derry. We're going to come right back with you here on Pitside Live. All right, you ready? Both of you. Thanks, Brad. Amber, you can come over here. Come over here. All right, we're going to end the show with you.
Yay. This is going to be fun. That's a decent number.
That's good.
Just as your local State Farm agent teams combine good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. This is your local State Farm agent, Dave Carball, and we promise to deliver the service you deserve at the price you want. My State Farm team will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call us today at 712-623-5639 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All right, welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. Not talking to some drivers, we're talking to some sponsors. And I'll let them introduce themselves. To my right is
Amber Schaefer.
And to my left is
Julia Paul.
And they are from PCSB out of right here in Corning, Iowa, Page County State Bank. And it is so good to have you guys as a sponsor. And we're going to have some fun tonight. We got money to throw. We've got candy to throw. We're going to have cups. They've got a lot of koozies down there. They have chip clips. They got all sorts of stuff. So tell us a little bit about, whoever wants to go, tell us a little bit about PCSB and kind of where your locations are and kind of what you guys have to offer.
Absolutely. We are a locally owned bank, so we are family owned. We are not a corporate bank.
That's always a good thing.
It is. It is. So that's where we feel like we really have that connection to our communities. And we have 7 locations across Southwest Iowa. So we have 2 branches in Clarinda. We have Corning, Bedford, Lenox, Creston, and Mount Ayr.
Now, Southwest Iowa is kind of one of those things where I feel like it's a family-friendly deal where family-owned is just better. You know, people around here, you know, if you know your loan officer, if you know your people, that it's just easier to work with.
Absolutely. So you're going to see Amber sitting out here almost every single week. You might see her husband on the track a couple times. You are going to see her, and you can come in and talk to her. She's so excited to give anybody loans. She's out here doing egg loans, auto loans, house loans, you name it, she's ready to do it.
And Amber, if people that don't know, Ryan Schaefer's wife, R21 car, he hasn't raced yet this year, but hopefully soon, right?
We're hoping so. I am hoping so. I don't know about Ryan, but ready for the car to come out.
Yeah, I'm sure, and I know your kids probably are as well, and so you work here in Corning, Amber, right?
Yep.
Now, what are some things you do?
I am the ag lender or the commercial side. I do all the commercial.
Okay. Now, when you guys go in, you guys have a great building right here in Corning, kind of a newer building. It's located right there across from R&S Auto. PCSB's always been one of those companies I feel like that does a really good job of just being local and supporting local farmers. I mean, some of the people you probably deal with are a lot of people that you know personally, but how easy is it to get along with you guys? I'm sure.
They come in and they instantly come to my office and they're like, "What are you doing?" We have a really personable relationship between everybody that comes into our bank. I mean, everybody comes sees Julia and they know Julia from the lake.
Now, you guys are just like people like you and me. You know, sometimes with this corporate stuff, they get a little bit too, fancy, and they're more about making money than they are caring about you. And I feel like PCSB is one of those deals where it's like they're here to help the local communities.
Absolutely. That's just the thing is, we're here and we are in these communities. We live them. Everybody that works in all of our branches across Southwest Iowa, they are invested in these communities, and we want to see them thrive and flourish and just keep going on. And we're here to be everybody's partner. So that's one of the cool things. Like, our slogan is "We believe in you." And that's literally what they are. They believe in these communities, and that's why they're located in them.
Now, race fans, if you are out there and you're looking to change banks or you're looking for a new bank or anything like that, PCSB is a great place to go. I have an account set up with them as well, and it's just a great bank to go to. They're located in pretty much all the major...
All the things. So one of the most coolest things that we have at every location is our ITMs. So what that is an integrated teller machine. So you're going to think of it like FaceTime on your phone. So you're going to pull up to it, you're going to tap that screen, and basically a live person is going to pop up, and they are going to be able to help you do all of your banking right there in your car.
That's cool.
From 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
That's
Monday
awesome.
through Friday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturdays. And then every location that we have has an ATM or two at it that are obviously available 24/7.
That's awesome. So you're very well spoken. Good job on that. So she does a good job.
That's why I was making her do it.
But tonight we're going to have some fun. You guys are here. This is kind of the first year we're doing this.
It is. We're excited.
Obviously, Chat Mobility did it for a lot of years, and unfortunately, they're a company that's no longer in business. Obviously, corporate bought them out.
Yep.
But we're glad you guys are here. Race fans, if you are making your way over here, hot laps are starting here momentarily, but we've got candy and money that we're going to throw out on the front stretch.
Yep.
So make sure you head on over here. The kids are going to have fun. 12 and under, we're going to go down. We got cups.
We had cool swag. Don't say it too loud. Cowbells.
I heard about that.
Cowbells. We brought cowbells.
So I heard the debacle on that. My dad told me that you guys were going to bring them to high school games.
And not so much.
The union said no to that.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about it, and I was like, the races is the perfect spot for these.
It's loud
nobody's
anyway.
Gonna hear them.
Hey, look who it is.
Hey, it's my husband.
So it was a quick talk, but it's 6:30. But we're gonna end the show with you guys. We really appreciate you guys coming on board. I know my dad would have loved to be here tonight. He had a graduation to go to in Wyoming, but we're gonna have some fun tonight. You guys got a really cool Camaro over here as well that you guys are gonna show off.
Yeah, our owner's husband. So like I said, we're family owned. So one of the Whitmore girls, her husband Sevi, he is super pumped to go take that puppy out on there. It's a Camaro Super Sport, so be ready.
He's going to pace the field with our Jeep Commander pace truck, so it'll be super cool. And make sure you make your way over here, race fans. PCSB's here. Make sure you stop on, talk to them. They got koozies for you. They got chip clips. They've got all sorts of stuff. We're going to be throwing out T-shirts later tonight as well. So thank you for coming on, guys, and hopefully you guys have a good time tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, race fans, we're going to end the show with that. We are ready to rock and roll. Like I said, it's been a great show, and I'm glad for all of our sponsors. Huge thanks to all of our sponsors again. Hot laps are going on here right now, and hopefully you can join us. But if you can't join us, race fans, Make sure that you follow along on dirtcrown.tv. It's going to be a great night tonight on the stream as well. So thank you to KCSI Radio. Thank you to all of our sponsors once again for supporting us. And with that being said, for Cole Hendrickson, I'm Evan Baldwin. We'll see you next week on Pitside Live. Thanks for watching, everybody.